The books just came in the mail today. Mr. Long sent me 5 signed copies, which is 4 more than I probably need in real life, but I will find a good use for all of them. I want to read to you Ike's essay about the Mariana Trench. There it is. It's a beautiful picture, a saipan. Let's go. It's titled Mariana Trench. The Pacific Islands seem isolated and distant to many people across the world. But from the perspective of my people, the Chamorro people, the native inhabitants of the Mariana Islands, the Pacific Ocean isn't the middle of nowhere. It is the center of everything, and it connects us all. The small volcanic islands north of Saipan are known collectively as the Northern Islands. Stretching like a string of breathtaking emeralds across an area of ocean the size of Texas, each of the islands are so small that their combined land surface is less than that of Washington, D.C. The region is home to whales, turtles, sharks, corals, and over 700 species of fish. There is a diversity of habitats from volcanoes above and below the water to reefs, undersea canyons, and the deepest ocean trench on the planet. There may be as many as 10 million undiscovered species in the unknown reaches of the ocean, and no place is less explored than the famed Mariana Trench. These islands have no ports. The only runway was smothered by a lava flow in the 1980s, and typhoons strike with frequent ferocity. The Northern Islands are one of the most remote, least visited places remaining on the planet, and I call them home. My ancestors discovered these land masses, crossing the Pacific in dugout canoes, and landing on islands that were full of life and resources. People today can scarcely imagine the abundance of birds, whales, sharks, turtles, and fish they must have known. The ancestors thrived with this wealth, and it was in this world that we evolved into Pacific Islanders. Our unique ways of life, values, and beliefs are derived from our environment, the ocean, and the land, inspiring our art, song, chants, dance, carvings, myths, stories, architecture, and even economic systems. But the world of today is nothing like the world of the ancestors. We have suffered 5 centuries of Spanish, German, American, and American empire building. Colonization and modernization have changed our islands and our people, yet we remain. And while we have known cultural erosion and environmental degradation for generations, our people are resilient, and today we are leading a renaissance of cultural and environmental protection. We know that when we restore our ocean, we restore our culture. Our ambitions are as vast as the sea itself. In 2008, an alliance led by Native Chamorro and Rafalawish activists successfully petitioned George W. Bush to designate the Mariana Trench Marine National Monument, one of the largest protected areas on the planet. Today, the monument is a trio of protected areas stretching across 250,000 square kilometers around our islands. It includes areas protecting the seafloor by restricting mining in the deepest reaches of the Mariana Trench and around 21 undersea volcanoes. It also includes a large protected marine area that restricts commercial fishing while allowing for sustenance, recreational, and traditional fishing. The monument fulfills a vision where fish can grow old and fat and where cultural practices can thrive. There is an ever-growing body of scientific literature that identifies the benefits of large protected areas to nature and people. Healthy reefs sustain life and result in more and bigger fish that will swim outside the borders of protection and become available to our fishermen. They also serve as a buffer against the effects of climate change and overfishing, resulting in a greater resilience of our people. With the monument, we assure that a part of our archipelago can be restored so future generations of Chamorros and Rafalawish can know our islands and waters as the ancestors knew them. It is the legacy of my time on this planet, handed down to future generations and shared with the rest of the world. Ignacio Villagomez Cabrera, founder and chairman emeritus of the Friends of the Mariana Trench. Ike, thank you very much for that essay. And Mr. Long, thank you so much for the book, for sending me a copy, and for taking all the beautiful pictures inside.